Welcome to the Boost Your Exposure Challenge. It is your exposure in the marketplace, day 5. And I want to talk about today the 3 common mistakes people make while in the online marketplace. And the first mistake is assuming that because you can solve the client's problem, that customers will want to work with you. So now you're all set up, you're visible, you can be found, but just because that's the case doesn't mean that people will work with you. Think about it. When you know you're hungry and you don't have food at home and you may have decided to go to a restaurant, it doesn't mean that just because you decided to go in a restaurant, you will become the customer of any restaurant. People will look for the type of food they want to eat, the type of atmosphere that feels right for them, and in the case of restaurants, the price range that they're willing to spend at that time. So when it comes to healthpreneurs, practitioners, and therapists, it's easy to believe that just because we have the credentials and the letters behind our names, that clients will automatically come. The second mistake is being everything to everyone. Now, everybody has a knowledge base or an expertise or a practice, and they have clients or patients they can serve. But what happens is when you say that you can help with everything, clients are rarely looking for help with everything at the same time. And this is really pivotal to understand because as a naturopathic doctor, I can help all kinds of conditions, all kinds of people. And when I was told, look at your practice and find out who is your ideal customer, who is the person that you can help, I would say, well, I can help everybody. But from the perspective of being found, that strategy absolutely doesn't work. It's not a strategy because nobody looks up everything. And we're going to go into more detail. Everyone in the marketing industry will tell you that you can't reach out to everyone telling them that you can help them, all because that is the best way to stay invisible. The third mistake is not focusing your message enough so that your ideal customers can find you. So we're going to talk about in more detail, ideal customer, what that is. But right now, just pick somebody. So let's look at this exposure on the marketplace. So when you look at this triangle, you'll see that there are 3% of the population in general that have identified the problem to which you have a solution for and are actually potentially ready to come see you. That's the 3% ready to get service, okay? They know the problem, they're clear on the solution, and are ready to make an appointment. They're just deciding on whether you are the fit. To reiterate, part of knowing whether you're the fit will be looking at your reviews and your reputation. We look at the second box, 7% aware of your service, but not sold. So these are the 7% which are in the same boat, but are not ready to make an appointment quite yet, or they're not sold on you or your service. So it can be a timing issue, or they still are looking for a little bit of information. They are the people that are looking at your reviews as well and 5-star ratings and reading about you on LinkedIn or professional association directories. The next 20% of people have identified that they have the problem, but are not as clear of all the elements they're looking to fulfill in the solution. Therefore, they're not directly aware of the services you offer. They are in the information gathering stage. So let's put this in terms that everyone can relate to. so that they know. So let's say you know that you need a car, but you haven't decided whether you're going to go with electric, diesel, or gas. Or they have back pain, but they don't know whether they want a chiropractic treatment, massage, or Bowen therapy. But they know they don't need surgery or they don't want it. So they're in the information gathering. They've got some of the pieces, but not all of the pieces. This group may also be aware that they have a problem, but it's not urgent enough for them to invest money towards solving the problem. Now, the 30% who are aware of their problem, but not the solution, so they have no clue what the solution could be. This is the group that needs to be educated, inspired, and to let them know about the solutions that you can provide. This is a group, though, that if you are using Facebook ads, don't bother. It's going to cost you a fortune to get that information out at that level, because they're not fully aware of your solution at all. So, for example, it may be so-called normal to many to have aches and pains or bloating or fatigue, but just because it's common doesn't mean that it's normal, right? So in other words, if they knew otherwise, they could be living their life differently. They may not even know that their bodies could react differently. So education is key here. Maybe even like controversial or comparative types of articles or that type of thing. This is how you can eventually reach these people. But should you be targeting them right now? Probably not. Then there's the 40% that have a problem and aren't looking for a solution. And really, there's no point wasting your time on them. In summary, you want to focus on the first four groups, the 60%, and especially the top 30% with content marketing strategy. Each group will require a different strategy as they are different levels of interest and knowledge. So for now, let's just focus on the 3%, those that are ready to get your services. Once you're clear of the problem you solve for the client who is looking for a solution, what I want you then to think about is what factors do you think will make the difference in acquiring that client? So our challenge today is listing the top 3 factors you believe are involved in acquiring a potential client. And what is the main element you feel that you're weak in and you need help with? I want you to share your observations. And then as a bonus, which will show that people have actually done this work, I want you on a scale of 1 to 10 to rate your accomplishment in setting up the foundation for your online exposure.